People make the world go round, baby. We got the Stylistics playing in the background. It's Friday. It's Friday. We made it through another week, another work week at least. Well, I'm sure a lot of you and me, I'm going to be doing work this weekend too. I'm sure a lot of you will as well. But we made it past the official work week. You know what I'm saying? We got Brother Vincent. We got Lord of Bananas. We got Jenny Jupiter, Jetted Prophetess. We got George. Good morning. Well, it's good afternoon now. I got things going a little late today, but it's okay. It's Friday. You feel me? We made it all the way through the week. You dig? You know what I'm saying? Cheers. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna vibe out to some old school shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got any fun plans this weekend? Do you have any fun plans this weekend? What are you doing? I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. I'm not sure. But overall, things are coming together well. So I should be feeling pretty good this weekend. Whatever I end up doing, you know what I mean? We got Flaw Dragon, old Dion, packaging stuff to sell. Okay, so Jenny Jupiter, Jenny's working this weekend. I know I'm gonna end up doing some kind of work this weekend. I don't know what exactly, but definitely some stuff on the page for sure, especially for the members. And shout out to everybody who has become a member this week. We launched the membership program this week, and it's started off very successfully, thanks to you all. And again, the membership program is primarily centered around community service. I've been getting people's schedules together. It's looking like we'll have our first meetings probably on Sundays, where we come together and see what type of change and what type of stuff we can get done in communities around the country. And of course, all the extra fun perks that come along with it. So thank you everybody who has joined. Looks like Brother Rain got some. Right, I ain't got a lot of spending money this weekend either, Vincent. I'm gonna be my ass at home too. We got Caroline. We got Mick in the building. Hello, apple picking. Oh, that sounds like a good time. Let's go ahead and load up this. I'm not hitting the bong today. Well, right now I'm not hitting the bong. I'm hitting this little piece. Y'all say y'all like this piece. Ooh. Okay, here we go. And then we're gonna get into it today. We got some decent stories to go over today. All I know is I'm not spending no money this weekend. That's all I know. That is, I do know that. Whatever it is I end up doing this weekend, it is not going to involve spending money. Other than buying groceries because I need to survive. I have to eat to live. Other than that, oh, sir. Hello, Brandy. Good morning. Yes, Wesley Pipes. Indeed. There we go. Wesley Pipes. Catching up. Oh, no. Spilled a little bit of coffee, but it's all good. It wasn't that much coffee. No big deal. Let's put this little towel down to cover it up. Cover up the little baby spillage. No big deal. No big deal at all. All right, let's go ahead and take this hit now and see what we got going on today. I got to order a lighter. When I order groceries, I have to get a lighter because I'm almost out of these little stick things that I've been. This ain't gonna work before another couple of hits. So let's go ahead and get it in while we can. Light. Hold up. Hold up, we gotta get funky. We gotta get funky with it. Here we go. All right. Queen Fritza, good morning. Well, good afternoon. How you doing? Yes, the PO box. That's the next thing I'm setting up. I promise. I promise y'all, I'm gonna get this PO box set up. Now, what we gonna start off with today? Let's see. What shall we start off? Let's start off with this BS. This, of course, absolutely is not going to happen. Ted Cruz warns of very serious danger. Joe Biden will drop out of 2024 race by August and be replaced by Michelle Obama. Yeah, Michelle Obama's just not, she's not running for president. That's never happening. In August, like, bro, August would be incredibly close to the, like, that would be like the biggest upset ever. We're gonna have Biden drop out of the race a few months before the general to replace her. To replace Biden with Michelle Obama a couple months before the election. No, that's not happening. But it's Ted Cruz we're talking about.
If it's just the kingmakers saying, nope, we pick you, whoever doesn't get picked, everyone else is pissed. So here's the scenario that I think is perhaps most likely and most dangerous. In August of 2024, the Democrat kingmakers jettison Joe Biden and parachute in Michelle Obama. And I want you to pause and reflect on that.
Oh, I'm pausing and I'm reflecting as we said, and so is everybody else listening right now.
I view this as a very serious danger.
I'm smiling right now because it terrifies me, and I also could totally see this happening.
So Michelle Obama, number one,
totally
you don't infuriate African-American women, which is a critical part of the constituency that Democrats are relying on to win. But number two, you avoid the problem. If you pick from any of the four, the other three are pissed because they're all, to some extent, peers, they're rivals, they're all jabbing knives at each other. Michelle Obama, because she was first lady, has the ability to kind of parachute in above all four and say, hey, we're not picking among any of you. You guys can all fight it out next time. You're all going to be on the same level. We're coming. This is the Obamas saving the day. And I think in terms of a solution that unifies Democrats, there ain't nothing like that. I also think Michelle is not all that eager to run for president. But to parachute in August of 24, a couple of months before the presidency, and suddenly wake up and be president?
Not a bad gig.
It's not a bad gig at all. Now, would she do it? I don't know. I've met Michelle, but I don't know her personally in any meaningful way. I don't know if she would do it. I do think Barack Obama is...
He had to clarify, like, now I'm not saying that I think she would actually do this, because at the end of the day, I mean, like, you can pull something like this out of your behind. It don't matter what it is. Like, he could say, someone else could come up and be like, Henry Kissinger, who is somehow still alive. Henry Kissinger is gonna, replace Donald Trump. Like, you can say anything. You could literally say anything you want. But yeah, no, that's not happening. Yes, let's get Ted Cruz out of here too. You know what I'm saying? I think that we got to get Ted Cruz out of here. That would cure everybody's depression. That would be like at least like a month of depression-free symptoms if Ted Cruz is out of the Senate for everyone across the land.
Already running the Biden administration. I think he is already the puppet master behind this Biden White House. I don't think Joe Biden is the decision maker. And so when I see the media,
it's not the corrupt dollars from corporations. In fact, one of the cases that the Supreme Court recently took up that allowed for more corruption to take place in campaigns That case was headed by Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, there was like, but there was a law. It was like you couldn't donate more than like it was some six-figure number or $2 million or something like that. You couldn't loan more than that to a campaign. And the Supreme Court made it such that there's no limit to how much of that particular loan you can give. So, AKA, you can purchase more favors through that avenue. Ted Cruz headed that. So we had some of the recent moves by the Supreme Court. We have Ted Cruz to thank for. But again, it couldn't be the corrupt corporate dollars that are actually calling the shots. It's Barack Obama.
Turning on Joe Biden right now. I think the odds of Michelle Obama parachuting in August of 2024 have risen dramatically, and that ought to scare the hell out of anyone who is unhappy about the direction this country is going and doesn't want us to go even crazier in an even worse direction.
Like, what in the hell? You obviously know that this is not going to happen, but it's all good. It's all good. A little bit from Ted Cruz. Now, let's check out, before we get to the United Auto Workers news, let's go ahead and check this out. A 6-minute montage by CNN of the most outrageous Fox News moments.
Became a mouthpiece for Republican administrations. A mouthpiece, really.
Given that Rupert Murdoch's stepping down, he's 92, he's stepping down, you know what I'm saying?
For Donald Trump, and eventually a vehicle for his baseless conspiracies. Before we discuss this tonight, it's important to really illustrate just a small taste of this mission, 25 years in the making.
White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax.
We keep marrying other species and other ethnics and other.
Are you sure you're not suffering from some of the causes of dementia right now?
See, the problem is the Swedes have pure genes because they marry other Swedes because that's the rule. Finns marry other Finns, so they have a pure society. In America, we marry everybody.
Asian people are not liberal, by nature. They're usually more industrious and hardworking.
You're a Muslim, so why did you write a book about the founder of Christianity?
Well, say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
For all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white, but this person is just arguing that.
I forgot all about that. You kind of look like one a little bit.
That maybe we should also have a black Santa, but Santa is what he is.
Precisely is diversity our strength?
Well, I have something in common with Obama, and I don't even know what the big deal is. He's a African.
Yeah, most cocaine dealers I know were Hispanic or white. Shit.
Anyway,
A fist bump, a pound, a terrorist fist jab.
So you grew up on tacos, correct?
She did not.
No, I did not.
She's Colombian.
I didn't know.
Nicaraguan.
Okay.
Catholics write letters and Muslims stab you with letter openers.
Not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims.
Many Americans, including this one, believe Barack Obama's emotional attachment to the Muslim world has hurt the USA. This guy should go back to
Crowder.
burning
A younger Steven Crowder. Look at my boy.
the taxpayer-funded incense to whatever pagan foreign deity he's worshiping, because it's not Jesus.
Pagan foreign deity.
She won't remove Congresswoman Omar from Foreign Relations, the Foreign Relations Committee, because why? Because she thinks so little of America. Who is she representing? Because it isn't America.
Maybe tomorrow he says he's going to transition to a woman. Better yet, maybe a black woman.
Right. He was like, well, that's what was so funny about it. He said that to Mark Lamont. He was like, you look like a cocaine dealer. Like, bro, cocaine is expensive. White people be selling. Bro, the people bringing coke into this country ain't black. They white. You feel me? Like they working with the people over the border to bring it in. Like, it's Latinos and white people. That's mainly who sells coke. Black people sell crack. Like, so you don't even have your racism right, man. Get your racism right. Get it together. And again, when you're talking about cocaine, it's white people who mostly get their hands on coke because it's expensive. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know how to prejudice right. They don't even know what they're doing. If you don't do it, then do it right.
Maybe even better, half black, half Pacific Islander, something like that.
Slaves that worked there were well fed and had decent lodgings provided by the government.
How did we wind up with a country in which feminists do science?
There's got to be some downside to having a woman president, right? Something that may not fit with that office, correct?
Exactly, Fritz. That's why I'm saying he don't even know how to do his racism right. I was like, oh, well, if you want to get technical, black people really ain't the ones selling coke. It costs too much.
I'm going to say no, Bill.
I used to think women just shouldn't be able to vote. Now I think at least liberal women should not be able to hold office. I'm telling you to shut up. But anyway.
Wait, you shut up. Know your role and shut your mouth.
I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that, Chris. Thank you.
I saw some evil laughter.
Evil.
Evil laughter.
No, what's evil laughter?
You know, just the way her face contorted. Michelle Obama is so like the Duchess when she speaks
kind of
about.
annoying,
She is.
And
By the
how
way,
well
they're
could
not
she
just.
be eating? She needs to drop a few.
Bill is the average American here, and I'm President Obama.
Fritz, you doing some DoorDash? You gonna do some DoorDash?
This is the way I feel. I feel like President Obama is just saying, you know what? I've got that $3.5 trillion budget that we're doing. You know, is this total?
The biggest myth of all time is that sweatshops are bad. By the way, Halloween is a liberal holiday because we're teaching our children to beg for something for free. The war on Christmas is a global struggle.
The factor began spotlighting companies that refused.
Bro, there's still like 2.5 minutes left of it. I think that this was CNN's mashup of like, what did Rupert Murdoch contribute to the news world, basically? You know what I mean? That's basically what it was. But I think we get the picture. There's still many minutes left of it, and it's not like this has changed. You know what I'm saying? Like this is still the case on Fox News. So let's move on to another one. Okay, hold up. We got some AOC. We got some AOC in here. We got Aztec Dragon. What's going on? How you doing? Poland is going to stop giving weapons and refugees to Ukraine. I did not know that. Yes, that was the golden age of Fox News. Oh yeah, Fritz, go ahead and step out. Get you some sustenance. All right, we got some drama. AOC mocks Fox News' wall-to-wall coverage of her while ignoring Lauren Boebert's engaging in sexually lewd acts. What's she talking about?
All I gotta say is I can't go out to lunch in Florida in my free time, not doing anything, just eating outside, and it's wall-to-wall Fox News coverage. And then you have a member of Congress engaging in sexually lewd acts in a public theater, and they got nothing to say. I danced to Phoenix once in college, and it was like all over the place. But putting on a whole show of their own at Beetlejuice, and there's nothing. I'm just saying be consistent. That's all I'm asking for. Equal treatment. I don't expect it, but come on.
Well, I'm glad you threw that in at the end because you sure ain't gonna get no equal treatment from Fox News. But I remember Lauren Ingraham. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I just saw her make some type of comment on Lauren Boebert, and she was like, "I mean, when it's a Republican, they're so quick to do this, but if it's a Democrat, like, no, Lauren, Laura, there's Laura Ingraham. That is, that's because Democrats aren't doing stuff like this. And as a matter of fact, it's not even just that Democrats aren't doing stuff like this. Republicans aren't doing things like this either. Other Republicans aren't going out in public and doing what Lauren Boebert did. She's doing that. You know what I'm saying? She did it. So yeah, ain't nobody doing it. I don't know if y'all seen this, but one of the Bob Menendez, he's a senator up here in New Jersey. Senator Bob Menendez indicted again for corruption, allegedly had cash stuffed in gold bars.
Welcome back. Federal prosecutors in New
Welcome back. Federal prosecutor.
Why? We're going to try this one more time, and if it don't work, we just going to read it. Ooh, look at that. You seen that?
Welcome back. Federal prosecutors in New York are holding a news conference now after indicting New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez on bribery charges. Let's listen.
Today I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator
Oh, come on.
Robert Menendez, his wife Nadine Menendez, and 3 New Jersey businessmen, while Hannah, Jose.
Yes, it's my fault. I came to New Jersey, and then all of this, was put into motion when I moved here. Carlos, you caught me red-handed, man.
Uribe, and Fred Davies for bribery offenses. The investigation that led to these charges has been run out of the Southern District of New York. The indictment alleges that between 2018 and 2022, Senator Menendez, the senior U.S. Senator from New Jersey,
I just got some email.
And the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And
Apple iPhone 15 Pro from $999. Like, the fuck out of here.
And his wife, Nadine Menendez, engaged in a corrupt relationship with Hannah, Uribe, and Davies. The indictment alleges that through that relationship, the senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes in exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. The indictment alleges that Hannah, Uribe, and Davies provided bribes in the form of cash, gold, home mortgage payments, a low-show or a no-show job for Nadine Menendez, a Mercedes-Benz, and other things of
value. Y'all talking about some Blobert and Hobart.
Value to the senator and his wife. Now, constituent service is part of any legislator's job. Senator Menendez.
Bro, every iPhone that's ever been released is the same phone, just with a better camera and whatever the different processing thing is. It's the same phone over and over and over.
Is no different. And as we explain in the indictment, there are things that Senator Menendez says he can do for his constituents and things that he says he cannot do for his constituents. He put it all on his Senate website. So for instance, it says he cannot compel an agency to act in someone's favor. It says he cannot influence matters involving a private business. It says he cannot get involved in criminal matters or cases, period. But we allege that behind the scenes, Senator Menendez was doing those things for certain people, the people who were bribing him and his wife. And let me say a little bit more about the conduct that's alleged in the indictment. The indictment alleges that Senator Menendez took several actions as part of this corrupt relationship. First, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence, including his leadership role on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to benefit the government of Egypt in various ways. Among other actions, Senator Menendez allegedly provided sensitive, non-public U.S. government information to Egyptian officials and otherwise took steps to secretly aid the government of Egypt. We also allege that Senator Menendez improperly pressured a senior official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture to protect a lucrative monopoly that the government of Egypt had awarded to Hannah, a lucrative monopoly that Hannah then used to fund certain bribe payments. Second, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to an associate.
Hassan, I ain't seen you in here in a minute, man. How you been doing? What's going on with you, man? How you been?
And a relative of Uribe. Third, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a federal prosecution of Davies in the District of New Jersey in 2 ways. First, by seeking to install a United States attorney who he thought could be influenced with respect to Davies. And second, by trying to influence that office to act favorably in Davies' case. And as we allege in the indictment, The senator agreed to do these things and use his power in this way because Hannah was paying bribes, because Uribe was paying bribes, and because Davies was paying bribes. Fortunately, the public officials the senator sought to influence did not bend to the pressure. That's a good thing. Now, as part of this investigation, special agents with the FBI executed search warrants on the residence and safe deposit box of Senator Menendez and Nadine Menendez in New Jersey. When they got there, they discovered approximately $500,000 of cash stuffed into envelopes and closets.
Look at the trees. Hello, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. Some of the envelopes of cash contained Davies' fingerprints, Davies' DNA.
He just got wads of cash. Like,
some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets, envelopes and closets. Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. Some of the
straight hundreds.
Envelopes of cash contained Davies' fingerprints or Davies' DNA. That's not all.
Oh, brother Hassan, congratulations. Go ahead and get you that whip, man. Go ahead and get you that car, man. You out here coming up, man.
Agents also discovered a lot of gold that was provided by Davies and Hannah. And the FBI, of course, found the Mercedes-Benz that Uribe had provided them. Now, the items that the FBI uncovered are discussed in the indictment, which I encourage all of you to read carefully. Let's take a look at just some of the items. So as you can see here, this is the Mercedes-Benz that we allege that Uribe provided as part of the scheme. What you see here are 3 kilograms of gold. These 3 kilograms together are worth approximately $150,000. And of course, here you can see just a fraction of the cash that was uncovered.
Right, the Hamburglar, exactly.
Covered as part of the scheme. Now, I want to make a couple of things very clear. First, my office remains firmly committed to rooting out public corruption.
Right, exactly. What the hell are you gonna do with gold bars except store them somewhere? You can't go spend them, you know what I'm saying? Right, exactly, Fritz. That's what we need to do. We just need to win office somewhere. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna organize stuff here. We're gonna make sure all of us get in the office somewhere, and then we're just gonna collect our gold bars. Cause I mean, they just this is like some rap music video shit. You feel me? Gold bars, cash, you know, Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just balling out of control.
Corruption without fear or favor and without any regard to partisan politics. That's in our DNA. Always has been, always will be. And second, this investigation is very much ongoing. We are not done. And I want to encourage anyone with information to come forward and to come forward quickly. And they can do that by reaching out to the FBI's tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, a case of this magnitude requires tremendous partnership. And I want to thank our partners at the FBI who have been with us since day one and have been absolutely—
Bro, this is crazy. Because again, like just in general, they be getting so many legal bribes. And they still be taking them illegal ones. Money's money. And he been in that, Menendez been in New Jersey politics for a long time. I don't know how long exactly, but he's been around. And he may have been around in New Jersey politics for over 20. Matter of fact, let me just look and see, because I'm pretty sure he was in the House before that. I don't want to get this wrong, but let me see. Bob Menendez. Okay, his little thing. Okay, so he's been there since 2006, which again, that's a considerable amount of time.
Absolutely incredible every step along the way. I also want to thank our partners at the IRS for their assistance in this investigation. I want to thank our colleagues from around the Department of Justice, who are far too many to name here and to thank specifically, but they've also been invaluable. And of course, I want to thank the career prosecutors from my office who are handling this investigation. They have done tremendous work. Eli Mark, Laura Pomerantz, Dan Richenthal, Paul Monteleone, and their supervisors, Rebecca Donaleski and Maureen Comey, the chiefs of our office's public corruption unit. I now want to invite up to the podium FBI Assistant Director in Charge, James Smith. Jim.
Good morning. So I'm not going to go any further into the case as the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams explained, but what I want to talk about more or less is, hey, the FBI's public corruption, the FBI investigating public corruption is one of our top priorities, and we will continue to investigate public corruption cases. I want to thank the agents, the team over here from the FBI, the IRS, for their hard work into this investigation. They've spent many hours and days and weeks and months working this investigation. I would also like to thank all the prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. I'd like to thank Damian Williams for his support in this particular case. I would like to thank the IRS for all their investigators who worked tirelessly along with the team here to investigate this case. Then I would also finally like to thank the DOJ's Public Integrity Section. So thank you very much for all.
Yeah, man, that's not looking good.
Breaking news, New Jersey Democratic Senator.
That's not looking good for Bob Menendez, on top of the fact that, again, I mean, they got dude, he just stuffing cash into his pockets. He just got gold bars, you feel me? Like, he just doing his thing. Oh, some union updates, some UAW strike updates. UAW President Shawn Fain announces strike expansion. He did a whole live stream with that. UAW International President Shawn Fain announced Friday an expansion of the union strike against Detroit 3 automakers. As of noon Friday, the UAW will strike all parts distribution facilities at General Motors and Stellantis. It includes 38 locations across 20 states. Fain also said some, quote, real progress has been made with Ford, and the automaker, quote, is showing they're serious about reaching a deal. UAW's Fain announces expanded strike targets 38 GM Stellantis. Okay, man, that was a link, my bad. We're not going to watch the whole 25-minute speech, obviously. Strike started last Thursday at 11:59 p.m. During the first week, UAW members struck 3 facilities: Ford Michigan Assembly Plant, Final Assembly and Paint Only in Wayne, Stellantis Toledo Assembly Complex in Ohio, and General Motors Wentzville Assembly in Missouri. Fain is expected to announce new targets where strikes will occur, absent tentative labor agreements with the automakers, starting at noon today. And like we talked about before, everybody, you know, as we've talked about before, we're going to see more and more strikes. Because just in general, this is what the working class really needs to do to continue to get better policies pushed forward. We've seen this happen more and more over the last several years, and I fully 100% expect it to continue to happen more. But let us stand with our striking brothers and sisters. And when it's time for us to strike, perhaps it'll be a good thing for us to do as well. But let's make sure that we stay up to date with everything. We're going to take us a quick little break. You know what I'm saying? Well, oh yeah, I seen Free Breather in the building. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a quick little hit to this. I ain't even going to criticize you, bro. It's too easy to criticize you. We just going to take a quick little hit dedicated to you. Thank you for being so caught up with me. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm just fascinated to this guy. He thinks about me a lot. I don't blame you, bro. A lot of people think about me for a lot of different kinds of reasons, you know? Now go ahead and get your thing ready. You feel me? We gonna take this hit real quick. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, man. I'm definitely I'm excited about all the opportunities that we have. You know, a lot of these people in office are in their 70s or their 80s. You know what I'm saying? there's just a lot of opportunity for us to get millennials and Gen Z in office. Let's take this hit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Brother Assign, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You say, run away from Fiat Chrysler. Their quality is cheap crap that breaks before its time. And Brother Assign is shopping for a car right now. You know what I'm saying? So he's thinking about all of these things even more than normal. Thank you again for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, man. I really do. We're going to take one more hit in celebration, man. Hassan recently got that new job, and now he's about to go ahead and get a car. You said you'll cry for sure with a Chrysler. So you cry for sure with a Chrysler. Don't do that. One more, you know what I'm saying? One more hit, then we're gonna move on to the rest of our stories for the day. All right. Back to business. What we got now, brothers and sisters? Hell no, I didn't cut my locks. Are you crazy? What you looking at? What you see on your screen? Hell no, I didn't cut my hair. Nah, I ain't cutting my hair for a long time. All right, Tina, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that y'all enjoy that, because at least where I'm at, it's a pretty nice day. It's 70 degrees up here in northern New Jersey. And you know what I'm saying? Again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this community. You have a good, fun, and safe weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Now, Fox's Mark Levin hits back at Stop the Steal's Ali Alexander over anti-Semitic comments. Yeah, because he's Jewish. So look at his face. Okay, hold up. Okay, we don't have a video, actually. Okay, so what is he? He said, sickening bastards like Ali Alexander never go away, and sadly, they never will. Yeah, it's so crazy how it's like people can do this. It's like Mark Levin is like a professional silly person. He's ridiculous for a living, but then, you know, when it comes to a little bit of anti-Semitism, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to a little bit of anti-Semitism, it's like, oh no, we're crossing the line here. Okay, so Alexander said before making his whatever he said, but I would never buy what he said, but I would never buy his book. I wanted to. I thought about it yesterday, but then I was like, this guy's going to piss me off through half the book. Because Mark Levin is inherently a foreigner. You know, he's Jewish. He's a foreigner and kind of an ethos. Oh, yeah. Okay. So he said he wouldn't go buy Mark Levin's book, and Mark Levin pushed back on him. This really isn't a story. It's just hilarious because it's like, oh, okay, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, he wants to stand up for people because he's Jewish. But I think more importantly, because dude said he wasn't gonna buy his book. Our favorite guy, our favorite person. Vivek Ramaswamy accuses Trump of making a false promise and not repealing Obamacare. What are you going to repeal it with, Vivek? The only thing that I could say about Donald Trump is he failed to repeal and replace Obamacare. That's how Vivek talks. Republican presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy swiped at former President Donald Trump on Thursday for failing to repeal and replace the healthcare overhaul championed by his predecessor, former President Barack Obama. I am never somebody. Hold on. Okay, this is Vivek, so I have to do it in his voice. I am never somebody who will make a false promise, Ramaswamy said at an event in a suburb in Columbus, Ohio. My friend Donald Trump promised us repeal and replace Obamacare. 8 years later, did it happen? No, it did not. It is a false promise if it is contingent on Congress. That's how he talks. Yeah, no, Jenny, like, no. Here we go. Here we go with the Vivek. It was a rare dig at Trump by Ramaswamy, a 38-year-old businessman who is a fierce defender of the former president, even while running against him for the 2024 Republican nomination. Ramaswamy has referred to Trump as the best president of the 21st century, and at times has drawn criticism from other campaigns for his praise of Trump. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, well, if he's really the best ever, you know what I'm saying? if it's really the best ever, if he was the best president ever, then why are you running? Well, Fritz, we definitely can't have that, so I won't be cutting my hair. I feel like Free Breather comes in here like, and he tries to make me. He can't get what he wants, and then he just gets quiet, or he just like leaves. But he probably still in here watching. But he'd be like, maybe I can make him mad today by saying the same thing people have been saying his whole life. Maybe if I come in here and say that, be like, oh, I know. Charles be like, oh, I know what I'm gonna say. This will be clever and new. You're white. You're really light skinned. Ah! And it's like, yeah, bro, I'm 31. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I kind of understand that by now. You feel me? They're like, oh, he thinks he's black. And then like that doesn't make me mad. And then they're like, oh, you look like a girl. You look like you're gay. And then that doesn't make me mad. And then they're like, oh, and then they can't stop watching me. All right, here we go. Let's continue. Some polls suggest that he is performing slightly better than the rest of the pack in third place. A recent Fox News poll even suggested that Ramaswamy could be approaching DeSantis' second place position, though some other polls suggested he remains close to others behind both Trump and DeSantis. Yeah, he was up at like what was it? I think he was at 16%. Ramaswamy was in this poll, if I believe correctly. Yes, exactly. There we go. I'm just Casper. You feel me? It's been that way my whole life. And look, it's worse than that because like these right wing white trolls be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get under his skin by calling him white, bro. I grew up around nothing but black people. I was the lightest skinned motherfucker around. And they gave it to me way worse than you motherfuckers ever could dream of giving it to me. Let me tell you right now, I got it way worse from that side of the fence than any of you could ever give to me. It has been going on my whole life, but it's always funny. It's like, oh, I bet no one's ever said this to him before. I bet he's never heard this. He's not going to know what to do. But yeah, my man, see, he stood up to Trump just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He suggested, hey, perhaps Trump didn't follow through 100% on everything that he promised. Exactly. He definitely want that OnlyFans link. Oh, nah. Well, perhaps he missed there's this guy who comes in here. Oh, you talking about Fritza. Oh, it's all types of stuff going on in here. Oh, no, there's a troll who comes in and out of here every once in a while. Hassan. That's who I'm talking about. There's a troll who comes in and out and like tries to make me mad and he can't. uh, but yes, Vivek. Here we go. Now, I don't think we have any more Vivek. We got Ken Paxton, Ken Paxton, and Tucker Carlson. Here we go. Ken Paxton pushes relentlessly debunks stolen election conspiracy theory to Giddy Tucker Carlson. Might I make a suggestion to you all? This is a very random off-topic suggestion. But if you ever find yourself down on your money, buy adult multivitamins. Take 2 a day. They go a long way. Get your vitamin C and your potassium and all the vitamins and the minerals that you need without having to spend so much money on fruits and vegetables. Go ahead and invest in some multivitamins. Now, on to this.
That's the real exactly. And if you think about it, if we lose the state, the laws are going to change. All the voter laws are going to change. We're going to be like California, where you can just mail in ballots. And what I know from mail in ballot, having fought this for the last election, winning 12 cases on mail in ballots, that unfortunately other states like Georgia did not fight.
Man, these people upstairs fight, bro. These people upstairs always fighting, bro. They've been, man, since I moved in here, they've been fighting. They be going crazy, man.
I know that mail-in ballots are completely.
One of y'all need to get up out of there. It's always a bunch of different people up there yelling and screaming and throwing shit around and fighting each other. It's always somebody different. That's just the fight house. But this is not a, this is kind of a, this is like a lower middle class area. So don't nobody call the police. If people made more money over here, they call the police, but ain't nobody gonna call the police. It's funny how that works, right? But here we go.
Unreliable. If you just mail them out to everybody, you have no idea who's sending them back. There's no verification. When they say you can't prove voter fraud, they are right. Because normally what you have to do, if you're going to mail in ballot, you have to satisfy the laws under certain categories. You're over 65, you're out of state, you're disabled. You satisfy, you sign an affidavit, and you send it in with your application that this is my signature. And then when you send your ballot back, send your ballot in an envelope. You sign that envelope with your signature, stick the ballot in, and they verify the signature. Not the best, not as good as photo ID that we have for all other voting, but it still is something. But when you change it to mailing it out to everybody, we
Jesse, hello, welcome.
have no idea. We have no signature verification. We have no idea who's voting. So when they say you can't prove voter fraud, that's the system that they like, because we can't prove voter fraud if we set up a system that's completely open. And that's what's happening in America.
So that's why Georgia, which most of us thought was a kind of conservative state, became one of the most left-wing states in the country. You believe because of mail-in ballots.
I sat there on election night. So I told the president in I think it was May. I said, Mr. President, I have 12 lawsuits in the most liberal counties. I'm losing in every county because they sued in liberal counties where all the judges are liberal. Court of Appeals are liberal. I'm going to have to find a way to get to the Supreme Court or the Fifth Circuit before it's too late, before they mail those ballots out, or you won't win Texas. I guarantee it. If Harris County can send out 2.7 million ballots, you won Texas by 600,000, you will not win. And if we have multiple counties doing that, they'll just figure out how many votes they need. We won every single lawsuit, all 12. And I told him, we lose one, you're done. He didn't believe me. And I said, you've got to watch this in other states, because if this is happening in Texas, which it looks like it's a national program, I can only focus on Texas. You better make sure this doesn't happen in other states. And sure enough, Georgia, which had the same margin of victory for Trump 4 years prior, they don't stop it. The governor, the AG, they sign a consent decree, and they have mail-in ballots with no signature verification. They have drop-off boxes, and they allow all these mail-in ballots. And guess what? Now Georgia, that had the same margin of victory for Trump, now suddenly we have a 8 or 9% win for Trump.
Yeah, that's exactly. Hold up, AR. That's what this show should be called. Two Guys in a Cabin. What was that? I can't remember that one. Between Two Ferns. What's the dude's name who played the brother from I can't remember the name of the movie, but the guy, the one man wolf pack, he had that show Between Two Ferns. But that's what Tucker Carlson's show should be called. Two Guys in a Cabin.
Protecting the ballot box in Georgia, he loses by what, 14,000? I don't know. It was a small amount. And I knew when they stopped counting votes on election night, I'm sitting there watching, going, "This is what they would have done in Texas." And all the
what was that about?
What's that?
They stopped counting votes on election night?
Because what they needed to figure out was how many real votes there were, so they could figure out how many mail-in ballots to apply to the election. That's what they would have done.
Yes, The Hangover, and I think his name is like Zach Galifianakis, something like that. Yes, Zach Galifianakis. Zach G. That's what I'm gonna call him.
In Texas, I'm convinced.
So you think that was fraud, right?
I have no doubt, having been through that whole process.
It wasn't just a water leak?
It was definitely planned.
Between two ferns.
It would have happened in Texas. I promise.
But can you just stop counting ballots on election night when everyone's
did it.
watching TV? Oh, I know.
Have you ever seen that before? Ever? For 3 years?
Well, you tell me. You're the one. You're in politics.
I've never seen it before in my life. I was like, I knew it when they stopped, and Trump is leading in all these states. I knew exactly what they were because there's no way to know where those mail-in ballots came. Anybody could have filled them out. Anybody. There's no way to know where those ballots came from.
That's not a dangerous conspiracy theory?
It's
Zach Galifianakis.
I watched it happen. I was a part of it. So they tell me I'm crazy whenever
Yes, two guys in the cabin. Yo, that would be perfect.
talk about it. They tell me that I should shut up. As a matter of fact, they're going after my state bar license right now for going after.
Yes, between two lunatics. And of course, he's not asking him about any of those criminal charges. Just like when he had Andrew. Oh, I mean, let's be serious. Tucker Carlson's not good at what he does. So whether it's when he had on Andrew Tate and didn't question him about anything, or it doesn't matter. Oh, this is interesting. Now, this is interesting. The cabin. Yeah, I'm just Fritz. I'm just gonna call him Zach G. You know, because I don't know how to say his last name either. 70% of Republicans and Fox viewers and Trump voters think Trump should participate in GOP primary debate. Former President Donald Trump may still enjoy a substantial lead in the GOP presidential primary, but new polling data obtained by Mediaite shows that a supermajority of Republicans, Fox News viewers, and even Trump voters think he should participate in the second primary debate. In a new WPA intelligence survey of 1,005 respondents, voters were asked the following, quote, "As you may know, Donald Trump did not attend the first Republican presidential debate. Do you believe that he should join in the second Republican presidential debate later this month?" The findings could hardly have been more clear or consistent. Every relevant group overwhelmingly said that he should take the stage with the competition. 72% of Republicans and Fox News viewers, as well as 70% of self-described conservatives and Trump 2020 voters, submitted that the former president should participate. Even more notably, 74% of those who say they would consider voting for him in 2024 say the same. Well, I wonder what that would really mean, just in terms of if will that make them change their mind in voting for him in the primaries? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think that I don't really think that that's what this says. All right. In a post on Truth Social, Trump explained his decision not to participate. Okay, yeah, he hasn't said anything else after this. And Ron DeSantis is plummeting, which is making him, I think, feel even less inclined to actually do the debates. A guy just randomly asked you do you have any warrants? What? That's quite a strange question to just randomly ask. It looks like Steve Ducey. Hold up. They didn't have the video of it pulled up on here. Steve Ducey from Fox, from the Fox 5 suggested that Trump was afraid of debating. But again, I mean, honestly, what difference does it really make? Exactly. And that will be Trump's biggest enemy and the Biden campaign's best friend, is that Trump cannot help himself. He just can't help himself. We got Gavin Newsom. Man, Gavin Newsom. We're going to see a lot more Gavin Newsom. Up there with your 9/11 theories. Gavin Newsom slaps back at Vivek Ramaswamy. My message to the UN, this climate crisis is a fossil fuel crisis. It's not complicated.
It's time for us to be a lot more clear. This climate crisis is a fossil fuel crisis. This climate crisis persists. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. It's the burning of oil. It's the burning of gas. It's the burning of coal. And we need to call that out. For decades and decades, the oil industry has been playing each and every one of us in this room for fools. They've been buying off politicians. They've been denying and delaying science and fundamental information that they were privy to, that they didn't share or they manipulated. Their deceit and denial going back decades has created the conditions that persist here today. And so thank you, Madam Undersecretary, for recognizing California's effort to join the efforts of others to be more clear and concise in terms of what we're up against and our responsibility to do more and be more. And I say all of that in closing with a spirit not of a closed fist, but of an open hand and an appreciation that we are all in this together, and mindful that all of us have unique circumstances, all of us have unique traditions, all of us have unique challenges. And I just offer this, Mr. Secretary General.
Okay, this sounds like a very reasonable commentary that he gave to this. And then Vivek, you know, because he's the genius who knows better than everybody about everything. You know what I'm saying? You said they just make it. Oh yeah, that's all it is. You feel me? They just making sure they're like, hold on now. I bet you then you know that's probably what it is. They probably like, nah, they could just tell Christina holds it down. She know what to do. So they like, hold on now, before I get crazy, before I get too tangled up in this woman and that good thing. Let me make sure I'm not. Nah, that's funny as hell though. But sometimes when guys, well, people, not just guys, and it's not even just dating situations. We've all been guilty of it, man. Sometimes you just don't know what to say, so you say something dumb, you know. And then, okay, so this is Vivek. My message to Gavin Newsom. The climate change agenda has nothing to do with the climate and everything to do with letting China catch up to the US. It's not complicated. Drill, frack, use coal, embrace nuclear. I agree with embrace nuclear, but not the other stuff. Much less of this, much more of this. And then Gavin says, keep auditioning for the Hall of Fame for the most ignorant analysis of science. Your coal agenda is up there with your 9/11 theories. I mean, Vivek, yes, he's very successful. He's very successful, but he's clearly insulated himself in his own world, because whenever he goes toe to toe with people in any type of way in the public space, he gets battered around, because it's like, bro, just because you got a lot of money doesn't mean that you are more intelligent or more adept or more prepared. It just means you got more money. That's all it means. You know what I'm saying? That's literally all it means. So now we got a couple more. Hold on, let's see. Should be a video here unless they took it down. Wait, before I pull this up. I don't know. It looks like they took it down. It was one of the Republicans basically just talking about how people like Matt Gaetz and everybody's going crazy. All right, yeah, Fritzy, you don't ask people for stuff like that, man. Like, and again, what difference does it? What's your before I get any further involved with you now? Let me ask you a bunch of inappropriate probing questions that I don't really need to know. Like, bruh, like, okay, now, apparently Chris Christie got the answers as to why Donald Trump is so afraid to debate. Why might that be? Why might that be?
Let's talk a little bit about some substantive international.
Oh God, Wolf Blitzer. Ugh. Let's do our best.
Issues. You want to be president of the United States. Today, the Speaker, McCarthy, he refused to commit to even putting Ukrainian aid on the House floor after meeting with the Ukrainian President Zelensky. How concerned are you right now, Governor, about the growing resistance among so many of your fellow Republicans to providing this desperately needed assistance to Ukraine?
I'm really concerned, Wolf, and given that I went to Kyiv about 6 weeks ago, met with President Zelensky there, toured around the country, and saw the barbarism that's being committed.
Man, these people upstairs gonna kill each other, bruh. They be going crazy, man.
By the Russian army, the deaths to civilians, the kidnapping of over 20,000 children. And this is a war that's being funded by the Chinese, Russians doing the fighting. Now the North Koreans and the Iranians both providing weapons for this. This is a threat to the United States. We have to stand with our allies and our friends and do this. And I think this kind of short-sighted isolationism, which is what Donald Trump has bred in our party.
So you blame Trump for this?
Oh, I absolutely do. I absolutely do, because he's bred this kind of isolationism in the party, not understanding that America is only at our best and our strongest when we are leading in the world. And we leave that vacuum, the Chinese will fill it, Wolf. And all these folks in my party who talk about how much they resent, are angry with, are threatened by the Chinese Communist Party, this is the time to send the Chinese Communist Party a message.
Interesting. A substantive, very important issue that came up in recent days. The Biden administration will not be providing Ukraine with what they want, these long-range ATACMS missiles. When I interviewed President Zelensky at the UN earlier this week, he said to me that such a move would be a major loss for Ukraine at this desperate time. He needs those missiles. What do you think?
I think that we've waited too long to give them all the weaponry they need to win the war. Look, President Biden has done better than President Trump did, and President Trump did better than President Obama did regarding Ukraine, in my view. But here's the thing, it's not good enough. He's given them just enough not to lose. We want them to win. People don't want these forever wars. Well, the way to end this war is to give them the weaponry they need to defeat the Russian army. They can do it. They've made gains in the counteroffensive here in the late part of the summer, early part of the fall. Let's give them the weaponry we need. They need right now. We need them to win this war. We need to give them, along with our European allies, the weapons they need.
And I want to be precise. The Biden administration is not going to be providing the ATACMS missiles, at least right now. They may change their mind and do it down the road. But you think what? It's too late?
It's wrong. It's just wrong, Wolf. And what it does is it elongates the war. I mean, look, I think President Biden has to stop hand-wringing on this. He was hand-wringing on the Abrams tanks. He was hand-wringing on the F-16s. Now on these ATACMS missiles. Let's stop it. Let's give them what they need. And look, if 6 months from now, after you've given them everything they need, they're not making progress in the war, then we have to reevaluate it. But we can't reevaluate it smartly if we're not giving them what they need to win.
Let's talk about a potential, and it could be enormously painful for so many Americans if there's a government shutdown. And it looks like there's a lot of dysfunction among your fellow Republicans up on Capitol Hill right now. Is Kevin McCarthy the right leader, the right speaker to deal with this very important issue?
I think he's the only speaker to deal with it at this point. Look, you have a very small number of people, as you know now, Wolf, 4 or 5 members of the caucus who are pushing it in this direction. But this is what happens when you have such a thin majority as he has. He's got the toughest job in Washington right now in terms of trying to manage all that. I think Kevin is doing the best he can, but I think he was honest today, and I think he needs to do more of this. He said these folks are trying to burn the house down. And I think he needs to be honest and strong about this and let people know exactly what's happening in the country. Let's face it, your job when you come here is not to shut the government down. It's to run the government more efficiently. And by shutting it down, that's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. We have divided government. We've got to come to a resolution with the Senate and get this done.
I'll get to some of the political issues that are coming up right now. As you probably know, Donald Trump, he posted a series of social media attacks going after you, attacks against you last night. He called you, and I'm reading now, a grifter. He attacked your record as governor of New Jersey, and he attacked your camp.
This conversation is incredibly boring, Fritza. That's why I've been loading the bong. You know what I'm saying? Or rather the pipe. I've been loading the pipe so I could get it ready so that we can move on. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you everybody, man. We had a very good stream today. There wasn't quite as much to go over, you know what I'm saying? But we had a good one nonetheless. Also, thank you everybody who's become a member, man. Thank you so much. We launched the membership program this week. It started off very strong. The membership program is centered around community service and local political initiatives. We're going to have our first meeting probably at the very beginning of next month. So sometime in the next week and a half, I've gotten people's schedules together. We'll have it on Sunday. So I'll make sure I keep communicating with y'all about that. But just in general, man, I'm really excited about everything that we got going on. And thank you, everybody, for your continued support and all the love that you show. So, man, I hope that y'all have a fun weekend, have a safe weekend. I'm going to have me a fun and a safe weekend. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be relaxing. And next week, we're going to have a very good week. We got all the shows going on next week. We got Lock Talk, we got Nerd News, we got everything going on next week. Cheers to y'all, man.
She don't want to strip no more, don't want to hit that pole. In my own club, I get any girl. Try to owe me something better than your toe. Hey, Ali, it's cool.
Ooh, that just did it for me. Oh, Aaron, it's all good. We finishing up, but it's good to see you. It's good to see you. But yes, man. Y'all have a fantastic afternoon, fantastic weekend. Get out here and do something. Oh, Sunflower Dragon, thank you so much for becoming a member. Look at that. We was about to sign off, and look at that. Nope, we not signing off quite yet. We go ahead and do another hit. You feel me? A new hero. Yes, indeed, a new hero. We got Sunflower Dragon in the building. Let's go ahead and take another hit before we log off. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. I'm trying to like this thing. Hold up. I got this little stick little thing. Hold up. All right, we good to go now. Again, thank you, Sunflower Dragon, so much. Now, there we go. Again, thank you, everybody, man. Thank you, everybody. I really love and appreciate y'all. And I'm looking forward to everything that we got coming. Y'all have a very fun, fantastic, and safe weekend. And I will see you on Monday.